I can already smell the fire burning, the sweet smell of gathering around the campfire. But tonight, we're not burning, but we are getting ready to burn. And my name is Kohenet Shamirah. This is Éléonore Weill, and we are so excited to present this ritual with you and for you. And some of us are watching this on Thursday night. Some of us are gonna rewatch it on Sunday night when we do this ritual. And we are here to do the first half of a two-part ritual that is sometimes called bedikat chametz, the search for the leaven in our home. And it is also referred to as bi'ur chametz. And that's really the word that we want to focus on tonight, because bi'ur can both mean burn, like bo'er, but it also can mean to nullify, to cancel out. Levatel, we have the word in Hebrew, and we want to just cancel out all the chametz. So let's imagine that we've now jumped forward. It's now Sunday night, or if you're watching this in a different year, it's now the night before the first Seder. We've finally finished cleaning all the chametz out of our home. For some of us, that also includes selling chametz. For some of us, that includes packing it up and putting it in the basement. For some of us, that could even mean putting the extra chametz in the compost or donating it to people who need food. Whatever we have done, whatever our observance level is, we have gotten rid of all the chametz in our home. We've done as much as we can. Why are we doing this? And some of us have this little packet are following along because it says in Exodus, 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread. I'm getting ready for that, getting ready for my matzah. And on the first day you shall remove leaven from your houses. Of course, this is a little bit confusing because on the first day, it's already Passover. So we do it just before the first day so that we're covered. And when Passover starts, we are good. And here we are. So it's Sunday night, or it's the 14th of Nisan. It's the night before the first Seder. And it's nighttime. So isn't that strange that the mitzvah is to search at nighttime when it's dark? And I was really inspired by this beautiful teaching on the My Jewish Learning website from Rabbi Ayelet Cohen. And I'm gonna read it to you, and you can also read it in your packet. Here's what she writes. The rabbis instruct us to search for chametz not in the bright light of daytime, but in the dark of night, by candlelight. We are told to search corners and crevices of our homes for crumbs of bread, to look in the places where even the brightest sun would not reach. Searching at night by candlelight forces us to look carefully, to notice things we might miss with daylight all around us. And so thank you, Rabbi Ayelet Cohen. Thank you, My Jewish Learning. And we're gonna talk about what the process is. And if you wanna kind of play along at home, you can just watch and enjoy like a little mini TV show that we are here in our apartment. And then you'll know what to do when Sunday night comes. Some of us are kind of dreading the next few days because we still have a lot of cleaning to do. And so here's the process. We have the process of selling the leaven. So some of us will literally sell our chametz that we're not going to eat again, or we compost it or we give it away. And then we have the main activity that we're going to do tonight, number 2, which is searching for the leaven. So what do we need to search? I'm glad you asked. We need a candle. If you don't have a candle, grab a flashlight. Or if you're me, you might want to do a little LED candle. Maybe that's a little bit safer. Maybe you're doing it with kids. Maybe you have animals around. You could do an LED candle or a flashlight. And the next thing you need is a feather. The feather works kind of like a dustpan. So if you imagine when you're like gathering the chametz, you're going to use the feather to gather it, and that's what the feather is for. Again, if you don't have a feather, you can use a dustpan. It's iconic, right, to use the dustpan. And then you're going to want a spoon. If you're lucky, you have a really cool one. Usually we have a wooden spoon. Again, metal's fine, even plastic is fine. We're going to use this big spoon. So you're going to need those things to search. So now the question is, what are we searching for? And the idea here is we're kind of doing this funny thing where we're like tricking ourselves into finding the last pieces of chametz. So we imagine we've literally finished cleaning, but then we take some bread, and you can do this at any time in your cleaning process. I recommend doing it in the middle of the day before you're going to search. So here I have some leftover challah. And what you're going to do, it's almost like a mirror of the afikomen, kind of reminds me of that. You're going to hide pieces of chametz in your house that you're then going to find. And this can be really fun. You can do it with kids. You can do it, get your neighbor to come over. You can make it into a game, who can find the most pieces. The Kabbalists say you should hide 12 pieces. Pick a number. Just remember what the number is, because you're going to want to find those pieces of chametz. And then one thing you're going to do is you're going to take some plastic wrap or aluminum foil, and you're going to wrap the chametz, because what you don't want is a piece of crusty bread just like under your couch and then sitting there all during Passover. And of course, you just cleaned your whole house, so you want the bread. So you're going to take a piece of the bread. So I have a piece this size. I'm going to put it in the aluminum foil, wrap it up real good. Okay, so like this is what it looks like, and we're gonna hide them throughout our house. And then once they're hidden, then we're gonna do the search. So let's just go to the next page there. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna say the blessing for the search, and then you can, so we're imagining that we had a bunch of these little tinfoil balls. They're hidden around the house. I'll put mine over here. Let's imagine it's already hidden, and there's not just one, but there's maybe 12 all over the house. And now it's nighttime, it's dark, and I'm gonna get together all my utensils. Okay, I could be using this candle and I could light it on fire, but I'm not gonna use it. I'm gonna use this LED candle, much safer. There we go. And I have my feather here. And then I have my spoon. And so I have all of my utensils. And before I start the search, I'm going to say this blessing. And just to name that the end of this blessing, the words are al bi'ur chametz, who cancels out chametz. And the idea here is that we're starting the process of removing the chametz, and it's actually going to be tomorrow morning. So this year it'll be Monday morning, but the morning before the first Seder, that we're going to burn it. So we're going to reference the fact that it's going to be burned tomorrow, but we're not going to burn it tonight. But the blessing is going to have the word biur in it. All right, here we go. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al biur chametz. And then if you want, you can say with me in the English. Blessed are you, our God, ruler of the world, who sanctifies us with mitzvot and calls upon us to remove chametz. And so this is the tricky part, and this is why maybe you have a friend help you, but you're going to walk around with the candle and the spoon, and you're going to look for the chametz. And let's just pretend right here, I found my chametz right here on the accordion, and I used the feather to get the chametz ball into my into my spoon, and that's how you know you found it. And as you're going, this can be a ritual, right? It's not just a task. This can be a ritual. So we're going around, and I'm like, wow, I thought I cleaned for Passover, but there is something. I once was doing this ritual that I'm not joking. I wish I was joking. And I found a moldy bagel under my couch, an entire bright green bagel. It was in a bag, but it was gross. And I was like really glad that I found it. So again, maybe you have more than one person and you're going around and you're using your feather and you're using your candle, and then you're sweeping it into the spoon. And then after you have it in the spoon, then the question is, what do you do with it? So I have this copper container right here that's, I live in New York City, so, I don't have like a big campfire spot where I can burn it. So I'm going to put my chametz in that little copper container, and I'm going to go around until it's all filled up. And then I'm going to leave it aside because, tomorrow I'm going to burn it. So as we're doing this practice, and could we just see the other screen for a second, please? As you're doing this practice and you're moving around, so this is, you can also think about, what is like this a metaphor for? This is my literally, like not yet moldy, but kind of getting hard challah from last Shabbat. And it doesn't just represent chametz that I don't want, but it represents something, almost all the chametz from the whole last year that I want to get rid of. So now that I've explained what the ritual is and what each of these objects are, I want us to look at, those of you on the sheet, I'm looking at page 6, and to be, and if you're listening to this on Sunday night, as you're doing it with us, we're going to hear a song that mentions feather, and it's about love and longing. I don't know about you, I'm like already imagining being sad that I can't have challah during Pesach and all the things. I'm like, this might be my last pasta for a week. So as we're searching, we're actually looking for the things that we actually want to burn and release. So there's some prompts that you can look at on page 6. And now we're going to hear this song on page 7 that is a song about love and a feather. So as you're hearing the words to this song, or as you're listening to the words, again, you could be doing the ritual with me, or you can also just close your eyes and think about some of these prompts. What chametz, maybe spiritual chametz, maybe habits, maybe just even memories or events of this past year you want to let go of, because we're going to burn them tomorrow.
werden Wasser. Oi, dorten, lieben Brief, vertrieben hast du mich in die weiten Länder und bänken ich noch dir zurück. Oi, wie viel zusammengesessen. Oi, wie viel Abendlich spät in der Nacht. Und wie viel Tränen wir haben beide vergossen. Oi, jeder, wir haben die Liebe zusammengebracht. Help mir, Gott in Gott in Himmel. Help mir, Gott in sie ist nicht gut. Schon seit 3 Jahren was wir spielen an Liebe. Und neu spielen
So we're noticing the longing, we're noticing what we're looking for, we're noticing all the little corners of our house that maybe we forgot about. Sometimes it can be fun to like go into a corner or sit somewhere or look up at the ceiling from a corner of a room that we don't usually sit. And so now I'm going to invite folks, and I'm going to even ask you to type in the chat. So we're now on the page where it says, as you find each piece. And whether you have a copper container or not, you can put them in a bowl, you can put them in a metal bowl. And as you find each piece, I'm going to invite you to really hold each piece. And we have this extra prompt here. So I'm going to invite folks to type in the chat. This crumb of, and then you can say challah, but it could also be of shame, of regret, of unemployment. What is the thing of violence? What is the thing that you want to let go, that you want to burn up from this past year? This crumb of, type it in the chat. What is this a crumb of? What is this a crumb of something that you're just like, can we please burn this up? Can we please release this thing that we don't need? This crumb of anger. Yeah, we have a few people. Toxic workplace. this crumb of unemployment, this crumb of jealousy. Yeah, this crumb of regret.
The pain of toxic workplace.
Yeah, this crumb judging others, betrayal, attachment, guilt, stress, anger, negativity, worry, grief, pain, job and health, self-aversion, judgment of myself and others. All of these crumbs, let's collect them. Let's collect them and get them ready to burn. And we're gonna burn them. And we're imagining tomorrow morning that we're gonna burn them. And let's go back to the purple one. We're imagining tomorrow that we're gonna burn them. And it's gonna burn in the morning. It's gonna burn hot like, what's it gonna be hot like? Let's type in the chat again. So hot. Hot like the sun. Hot like a summer's day. Hot like, let's see some more in the chat. It's gonna burn hot like the oven that cooks the matzah. It's gonna burn hot like 1,000 suns. Asphalt in the summer. It's gonna burn hot like a volcano. We're gonna, all right, it's gonna burn like the fire that we opened with. Amazing. All right, it's gonna burn really hot. Everyone who's doing this, make sure you do it safely. Again, I have this copper bowl. I put it on my fire escape, and that's how I do it safely. Some of us have a safe place in our yard to burn our chametz. Maybe there's a communal area that we can burn it. And let's just go all the way to the bottom and see if there's any more chat. Burn hot like the desert, a bonfire. All right, let's just close that white one. Thank you. All right, so now we are imagining. So this is a line that we're going to say tonight, and then we're also going to say in the morning. And essentially what we imagine now is that all the chametz in our house is either been sold, been composted, packed up in our basement, given away, however we get rid of our chametz. And the last 12 pieces of chametz in our possession are right here. We just gathered them with our candle feather and spoon. And we don't have any more chametz anywhere except for in this container that we're going to burn tomorrow. And so we have a final line that we say, which is really amazing. I'm going to say it in English, and then I'm going to say it in the Aramaic. And we also gave you the Hebrew here, because it can be really fun to like compare Hebrew and Aramaic. I see some people here who've been in classes with me where we've done that. And we're going to say this line, and by saying this line, this Aramaic line, which of course for our ancestors, that was their vernacular. By saying this line, not only are we declaring that we are going to burn this chametz, but we are declaring that if there's any chametz that we missed, it's as if it's also being burned. It's also canceled out. If I don't see it, it doesn't exist, which is quite amazing. And we're doing this, of course, both with our literal chametz, our little balls of challah, or whatever we chose to put in our container that we're going to burn or take to burn, but we're also doing it with all of our spiritual chametz and all these other things that we put in the chat that we want to burn up and just turn it to dust and leave it behind. All right, so we're on page 8. We're going to do it in English and then the Aramaic, and then I hope you're going to sing along because we're gonna get really into it at the end. All right, here we go. May all chametz or leaven that is in my possession, whether I have seen it or not, whether I have removed it or not, be annulled and deemed like the dust of the earth. Kol Shamirah v'chamiyah de'ika birshuti dela chamite udela biarte udela yadana le levatel v'leheveh hefker ke'afra Afradayara. Hefker, 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 ke 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 Afradayara. Happy Passover, everyone. Thanks for joining us for this ritual. I'll pass the mic to you, Mara.
Thank you all. Hag Sameach to everyone. Be well. Have a great night.
Chag Sameach.